Welcome back. This is from idea to outline to finished book. I'm really glad you've made it this far. That means you're dedicated to figuring out how to do this if you haven't done before. And if you have, just to get some motivation to get started again. All right, so today we're going to have 3 lessons again. Lesson 7 will be writing sprints. Lesson 8, I'm going to talk about first draft mindset. And in lesson 9, I'm going to be talking about beating resistance. That's a fun one. So for this video, I decided to stand like a teacher would, but a teacher who wears Star Wars shirts. And I'm really glad you have made it. If you are watching these, please tell us in the comments what you think, if they're helpful to you, if you have any other questions, or you maybe have some suggestions for another module that I can create. But anyway, here we are. Let's get started. Lesson 7, writing in sprints. Books don't get written all at once. They're built in short, focused, creative bursts. It's what most people call writing sprints. So what's a writing sprint? It sounds like a running sprint, but you're writing. So usually I would say it would take 20 to 30 minutes. Put on a timer, no distractions, close the door, find a park, find wherever you can go that's quiet, put some headphones in if you like music, and start writing. You just start writing. It's that simple. Also, no editing, no second guessing, just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. Okay, I'm gonna have to say it one more time. I'll probably say it later. Just keep going, keep writing. So like, for instance, when do I do my writing sprints? Well, it's all over the place for me. I used to be a big nighttime writer, but I found myself staying up way too late to write. So I had to kind of figure out my schedule in different times. So it's all spread out now. Sometimes whenever you can find a time that's when you're supposed to do this. Oh, and right now it's really fun to do the sprints. I know you guys think it sounds hard, but it can be fun. You're supposed to enjoy this. You're a writer, right? So I'm editing my 3rd book. I'm on the final draft. I'm almost finished with it. So it's a whole different process. So it's really good and quite refreshing to like jump over to my 4th book and just start sprinting away on that book and have fun. And then I realized, that's the fun part. So moving on. So what do you want to set your word count as? I would say 500 words. If you want to do 300 words, that's totally fine. Because if you think about it, if you did 300 words every day, if you wrote 300 words every day and you wrote for 100 days straight, you'd already have written 30,000 words. Imagine that now. That's like 1/3 of a finished novel almost, right? So that's how easy it is to finish a novel. So you have 100 days, so 300 days. Even with that amount of writing, that's 10, 15 minutes a day. So this is why it's so important to do these. And look, eventually you'll be getting up to 1,000 word sprints, 2,000 word sprints. If you're Stephen King, I think he writes 1 million words a day. I'm not sure. But we will get to that. The more you exercise your brain into doing this, the more routine it becomes. And that's the magic of the bursts, is because they're just these like small bursts of creativity and passion and everything you want to write about, and not think. This is why you don't edit. Remember that. You just keep writing. Let your brain do its magic, and the creativity is the magic that it's doing, right? The storytelling, the characters are just coming out when you're not standing in your own way. So I want you to maybe, if you're not already doing them, try like a 20-minute sprint today and make it 300 words if you can. A lot of people are just going to keep going and write 5. Some of you might even find yourself writing 1,000 words going, what did I just do? And that, again, is the magic. So on to lesson 8. First draft mindset. The only goal of your first draft is that it just exists. That's it. It just has to be made. Messy's fine. It can be straight up ugly. Because I'm going to tell you something. Done is way better than perfect. So you're probably wondering, have I ever wrote a messy draft before? Every single first one was messy. I don't think I've ever had a non-messy draft. That's okay. That's what I'm telling you right now. Like I have completed books and they don't even look recognizable. There's parts that stayed from that first draft in there, but that's the magic. Okay. Again, we're back to this magic of why this works, because that's you getting this idea out there. Second drafts are for cleaning up. Get it? So be messy. I'm going to say right now, we are just doing like we did in the other one. We're sprinting. We're getting that story out there. We already, hopefully you've done your character map. You've done your outline, and now we're getting to just, the idea, go with it. Just honestly, nobody should see your first draft but you. So you're just going to have to get out of your own way, like I said before, and start writing that. And when you, and don't throw away, I'm telling you, don't throw away that first draft. It is going to look hideous because you're going to compare it to other books. I did that and it got into my head. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to look at it and say, well, how can I make this better? That's what draft 2 is for. So on to lesson number 9, beating resistance. Look, every writer faces resistance, distractions, doubts, imposter syndrome, procrastination. So what matters is having the tools to push through it. So I'm going to tell you my biggest resistance factor. And I also want you guys to share yours within the comments on my school page. So probably one of my biggest resistance factors is procrastination. I used to joke and I used to say, I'm just letting the idea marinate. It sounds pretty. But a lot of times this is when the sprinting comes in, because you're trying to think to make it perfect. Even the idea, you're trying to make the idea in your head perfect before you start writing. And that's just gonna make you procrastinate, like I said. And of course, probably number 2, tied maybe for number 2, is distractions from social media. Like I said, ADHD, you need to focus. I personally put in very instrumental music all the time when I write, so that really helps me. And of course, self-doubt. Why am I spending so much time doing this? Because I love it. And that's really the main reason you want to be a writer, because you love it. Because if you're just doing it because you want to make money, you'll burn out after your first book. That's just the way it goes. So another good thing to have is an accountability partner, right? A fellow writer, maybe someone, or just anybody who you can get to call you every day and say, or text you every day and say, hey, are you still working on that? Did you do your sprints today? Are you still working on your book? You need someone like that. And you can be that for someone else if they need it. It's very important. I'm in several writing groups. I'm in big, huge writing groups where the conversations are huge. I'm in a couple small writing groups, much more intimate. And it's so good to have these groups and to understand that you're going to be critiqued just a little bit. But that's later in the process. In your first draft, don't worry about that, right? So the accountability partner isn't reading what you're writing yet. They're just there to make sure that you keep doing it. Also, your phone has a timer. So set that timer, that 30-minute timer that I was telling you about before. Set that, make that your goal. If you have an hour, good. Not everybody has time, but I think anybody can find 30 minutes of time if they just turn off the TV, maybe put down their phones and really pay attention and just focus on their writing. And maybe, offer yourself a little reward if you get it done. If you do your 30 minutes, what's the thing? I get a little snack. Be healthy here. I can think of lots of things and be like, oh, after I do a 30-minute, maybe I get a beer, or maybe you want a glass of wine. If in moderation, right? But yeah, if that's your goal, or maybe I get a cookie. It doesn't have to be food. Just give yourself a little bit of a reward to make sure that you keep doing it. It's like you're, bribe yourself. That's it. Just a small little bribe. If you're feeling resistance, just remember this. Writers who never face it aren't challenging themselves enough. The resistance means you're on the right path. Don't fight resistance. Expect it, plan for it, and keep writing through it. All right, stay tuned for the last video, 10, 11, and 12, coming up soon. I'll see you guys, and make sure you leave some comments on the school page, and invite your friends. Invite your friends if you like this and all the other modules that I'm making in the community it's small right now, but we're gonna get there.